Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Samuttarukane Gunamai Panikar Guru Guruvai Uri Arunachala Purva Kanniya Korunai Padal Purnami Setarul Arunachala Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Indiyum Mandiyai Kundamum Nirandilai Andarante Arunachala Keradarikum Keril Pugai Arunachala Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Kaini Kaniyum Neerasam Kondu Uvai Nerikola Arunachala Kolei Tadiyai Kollumai Katti Kondekan Vaazhe Arunachala Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Kovani Kulatoi Kuriyai Enai Kola Kurayan Seiden Arunachala Gautama Kothum Karunai Vamadai Kadai Kanitadai Arunachala Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Sakala Mundirengum Adiroli Namana Jala Jamala Arunachala Shaparundri Shantunavayan Shantamatovan Arunachala Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Chittamurira Kadirastam Vailavai Kira Arunali Arunachala Chirayani Nirvana Pachidaru Chirayani Karul Arunachala
Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Muji ji ki
Jai. Ananta ji ki Jai.
Very warm welcome to all of you online as well. And if you have questions, you can ask in the Hangout or you can post in the question and answers app. So if any of you have questions, you can just unmute your mic and start speaking and my attention will go there. What takes no time? What takes no time at all? What is here before time? What notices the movement of time? Who is watching this appearance? Who is watching right now? It's not a difficult question, actually. Doesn't need effort also. Who can watch a thought? Who can watch emotion? And who can watch the outside world? And what difference is there between the inside and outside? Just that energetically what appears seems to be different, but the watching is the same. Whether you're watching in imagination or you're watching the world, it's the same. The watching is the same. So who is this watching? What is this watching? The mind does not know the answer. So if you're struggling to find the answer from the mind, then you can give up right now. Because that will only lead to frustration. And this frustration is also okay because after this frustration comes, you say that I give up. I give up means that I give up trying to solve this self inquiry through the mind. Give up trying to find the answer with the mind. The self inquiry is very beautiful. There is nothing it does not do. First, it gets your mind to shut up and give up because the mind feels completely helpless with the question, who am I? What answers can the mind provide? Only concepts. So, first, it gets your mind to get out of your way. And you will throw tantrums along the way. I know. I don't get it. This question is too difficult. This satsang maybe is not for me. Maybe I should sit and just pray. All these tantrums will come. But if you sense that there is some truth here, there is some peace here, then you will not give it up. In spite of all your tantrums, you will not. So first, with all of these tantrums, sometimes it happens. It doesn't necessarily have to happen. So don't start thinking, oh, I've not thrown tantrums, so maybe I'm not even there yet. See? Next satsang, everybody is like throwing tantrums. So I think I'm ready for my tantrum now. It's not like that. So this mind will get out of the way. There is no option left for it now because it has no credible answers for the question, who am I? So then when it gives up, what happens? When the mind gives up, when you start, when you stop trying to answer this problem with the mind, then what happens? Then it doesn't take time. You see. It's only this getting the mind to step away, which seems to take some time. When the question is asked, who am I? And if you see clearly, if you don't fall for any tricks of the mind, then the answer is available right now. So all the seeming effort, all the seeming time is only for the inquiry to work on this mind to get it to give up. Until the end, it will be shouting and screaming, I don't get it, I still don't get it. I don't know if I have got it or not. It cannot get it. But let that struggle happen. If it has to, that is the way it will spend itself. Maybe now most are here, so we can. Yeah, maybe it'll stay. Maybe it'll stay. Just try if it stays, otherwise. So let it do all that it wants. Let it shout, scream. But through it all, my only advice is be in satsang. Let it sell you anything that it wants. Just don't let it sell you the concept that now you don't need to hear satsang anymore. Or this is too difficult, too abstract, too confusing. It's tried, no? With most of us, it's tried. But with some of us, it's still trying. Too abstract, too confusing. But if you come to the perspective of the awareness itself, then you realize that seemingly she is reading the Avadhuta Gita, and that will seem like complete common sense. It will not seem like it is something which is out of the ordinary. It is like you have written that book yesterday. It's nothing, not to devalue the words of the great sage, but you will not find it anything which is completely new because it is your own experience. It's as simple. So the effort or time, if it seems like it is taking effort or it is taking time, it is only the subsiding of the mind which is happening. And that is why sometimes it seems like a process. So it can be a little confusing, isn't it? If it takes no time, no effort, then to the mind this is completely confusing. So you say, okay, but that's where I started, and today where I am is a lot more peace, but I still am not sure whether I completely got it or not. So this is the testimony of the mind state. So this subsiding of the mind, or the defrosting, or the melting, or the cooking, whatever, so many words that Mujiji uses, all is talking about the mind. It's not talking about you. You are not melting. You are not subsiding. You are not being cooked. It's only the mind. It is God, you see. So if the love for the master catches you, then it's like you've been tied to this hand. And then the mind can struggle and try to wriggle out of it and try to do all kinds of things, but you're not going anywhere. Then the mind will subside, it will give up. And each in its own, in their own way. There are some who might come to hundreds of satsang and still it feels like the mind is still subsiding. And some might come for one satsang, complete clarity and never show up again. And the mind will say, I want this one. Right? I can't have that one, which is like one satsang over done. When you stop listening to this one, then it is that. That's the, if there's a slight trick in this, it is just this. If we're so used to listening to this one, it's as simple as that. Are you willing to stop listening? Are you willing to hold my hand and go through the fear that comes initially when you stop listening? Because actually, if you're holding the master's hand, then none of this fear will also seem real. If we try to go it, it becomes an egoic thing that even this fear I will face. Let's see what it can do. Then it is just the same guy trying to set you up for failure because you have made something out of nothing. Just energy. And for you, energy is nothing. All that you perceive is energetic. Even the scientists will say this. No difference between energy and matter. E is equal to mc square. So no difference between energy and matter. So all that is perceived is energy. So this body is made up of 99.99 something percent space. But what do we perceive? We perceive a body. That is the way this program, this game has been written. So all you perceive is just the flow of this energy, which is flowing. You can call it consciousness, you can give it any word. But no energy can touch you. No energy. You are untouched through any energy which is coming. And know that all energy is coming and going. What appearance stays? Which appearance can stay? Every cell in this body is different from 2, 3 years ago. So what is the same? Everything, every appearance is changing. But what will last eternally? What will outlast this appearance? And how many years will this go on? Another 30, 40, 50, 60. How many years? 70, 80. It cannot go on much longer than that. And when we look back, we say it all seems like it was a blink. Time has flown past so fast. I have this grey hair and all of it has gone like a blink of an eyelid. When did all this happen? Sometimes I look at the photos with my son and he's so tall now. And I'm wondering how did all this happen? So, the same way, the future will also go in the blink of an eyelid. And then what will last? Are we counting on all of this about the next blink? Is all of this about that? The security that we want, the money that we want, the relationship that we want. It's all about the next blink of an eyelid. It will all come and go. And we can be having the same conversation 30, 40 years later, or the next lifetime, or in the next one. It's an ancient conversation. We were sharing this example. The other day, Lazar was reading from one of the books, Talks with Ramana. And the conversation was from 1934, 1934 or 35. It seemed like the world was so backward then and problems must have been completely different. But the same set of issues came. The first question I heard was, I get it intellectually, but I don't know whether I really get it. I understand intellectually. See, what happens to my work? That was the second question. What will happen to my work if I understand? If I am not the doer, then how will my life continue? Same question. 80, 90 years ago. There's different environment, different seeming bodies. But the issue is only this attachment to appearance. And all these ancient sages talking about the same thing. This one difference seems to be there compared to hundreds of years ago and now is that maybe the expression was not this direct. This directness of expression, maybe it was there, but from what we read in stories, it does not seem like it was this direct. Most of the stories we read about are those where they say that the disciple spends 10, 20, 30 years in the ashram And then the master calls him in for a special meeting. You're right. It seems to have played out that way. Or maybe there were these meetings which nobody knows about. These are not very popular, as you can see. So how many want to hear the question, who am I? How many want to hear this directly? So maybe it was even this aspect was the same. But the issues have been the same since time immemorial. Right? Immemorial. And we did this, so we came up with three, then Ram added the fact that even the search for value, search for meaning, the search for freedom starts off as a personal search. So all that we desire, all that we want, is around these three, four aspects of our life. No fresh problem has been created for many centuries. It's just that the expression of the problem seems to be different. But all seem to be related to body, related to relationship, related to sense of security, and then ultimately related to finding meaning, finding value, finding the truth, finding freedom. Any fresh problems, any of it. That's not related to any of these. It's been the same struggle, an ancient struggle. But it can be over now. Ultimately, it is your own readiness to let go. And it exhibits itself in different ways. The ways in which you would not expect it to exhibit itself. So the question we are asking now is, we're not even trying to solve problems. We're trying to ask whether you are okay without having a problem. Because it seems like we become so conditioned, used to having problems, that when it seems free, then we say, oh, where do I stand? It seems very unsteady. It seems like a limbo state. Because unconsciously, we become so used to constantly dealing with problems. The instant we let go, we say, okay, now what? What do I do? You can just bear that little bit of the sense of unsteadiness for a little while, then you will realize that this is so freeing, it's so free. And then the mind will try to push some buttons around clocks. Say, what about work? What about responsibility? But remember the words that all that is meant to happen will continue to happen. It will continue to happen. So nobody is talking about a passive existence. What we are talking about is letting go of the false sense of involvement, false sense of devotion. This entire appearance is active. Even when you're feeling like you're completely passive, you're lying down on the bed, there are so many processes which are working. The breath is working, so much blood is flowing, so much activity is happening. There are millions of organisms which live inside the body. We are like a huge city for us. You just feel like nothing is happening, but actually so much is happening. So we just feel that we have so much control over something that I'm deciding what my life is. I'm controlling what my life is. Complete life. And we are able to accept this about the past. When we look back at the past, we say, yeah, I just happened to be there at the right place at the right time, or the wrong place at the wrong time. But when we talk about the future, then we say, no, I have to do this. Show me this I that can do something. Who is the I which is deciding your words? Who is the I who is deciding your action? Is your body deciding? The body deciding what is deciding? Are you look like a robot? Whether uh, there's this device which is planted here, and then this device is controlling everything that will happen. You are not. You're just watching. All is flowing. I don't know what this. 3 times repeating thing is coming. Ultimately, we cannot do anything but watch. That's why I like using the dream state as a good parallel, because all this becomes completely clear when you repeat it as a dream. In a dream, what else can you do? What can we do in a dream? We only pretend as if all the actions that are happening through the dream body are my actions. But actually, we are only watching. Can you do anything other than watch when a dream is there? The other day in Satsang, I was sharing with someone that, with all of you, that I have another home. I have another home. Some of you did hear that. So there's this, in this state, I can say that that is the recurring dream. That is the recurring dream where I know everything about that house. That there used to be some animal that used to come in from the side, and then we built a fence, and now somebody is trying to encroach it. And it's a continuing and recurring dream. So then, when I'm there, then is this the recurring dream? And right now, here, it seems like that is the recurring dream. But truly, tangibly, I cannot tell you whether this is the dream or that is the dream. Or the people seem familiar, my history seems very clear, or the memories seem just as real. But the best part of this is that even if this seems completely real, this phenomenal state seems completely real, and there's no attraction to comparing it to the dream state or anything like that. Even in this phenomenal state, you cannot find the person, you cannot find the ego. The second level delusion, it's a person. I've been asking this question since at least the last year and a half. But nobody has told me even one attribute, a tangible attribute of this person. And even if we cannot even find one attribute, then how can we rely so much on the concept that I am a person? One tangible attribute can we find? Something real about this person idea. That itself says it's an idea. And the mind will come up with some doubt. It's the nature of the mind. It's the nature of this beast. And I'm ready to hear them if anyone has any doubts. Okay, we won't belittle them as doubts. We'll say questions. including all of you online. If you have some questions, you can ask.
Father, I have a question.
I see Jesse trying to say something, but I can see his lips moving, but I don't hear the question.
Can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Hello, Father. How are you?
Hello, my dear.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Um, um, there was a point where I used to set time aside to do the inquiry. And there was a lot of sort of driving the ship kind of feeling, where I go about my everyday life and do all the things I have to do, and there would be special times when I would sit down and go through, whether it be YouTube videos or whatever. As you know, I don't really read much, so but I guess my question is, or I guess my report is that it's now as if the moment I wake up, the moment my eyes wake up, it starts by itself. And I'm constantly, not really inquiry, because that sounds almost, I don't know, it sounds almost personal, but it seems like everything that happens to me is subject to inquiry. Everything. It doesn't matter what it is, how mundane, doesn't matter how ordinary it seems. It's being viewed from the standpoint of inquiry. And I guess my question is, does this ever stop? Because I haven't started it, and I certainly can't stop it. Or does this joy just keep going?
Can you take an example of when you say that everything has become the inquiry? Can you take an example of how it plays out?
Oh, sure. This morning, I can tell you that I have. This is a silly example, but it's the latest example. So I have a cat that wakes me up at about 3 o'clock in the morning every morning. No matter what happens, she wants food, she wants water, she wants something. Okay. And so there was a time when I would be woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I would be really upset about it. And now, when that happens, it's like nothing happens.
Yes.
That's the mundane example. And then there's other examples when I feel
this. That it's inquiry. Is it that when you say that everything has become the inquiry, is it that when your cat wakes you up in the morning, there's this conscious attempt to ask who is being woken up or something like that? Or it's just like you said that it's nothing?
It is, I see that there is nobody here to be upset about it.
Yes.
And I see that with everything that happens. And this goes for beautiful things that happen. And it's not that I'm dismissive of everything, but it's just that nothing has a place to land, I guess, is the best way to put it. There's no crashing of any feeling or impact of any kind of substance, and it may, I'm not to say that I'm sitting here in a neutral, vacuum, but at the same time, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I think my question is, is it possible that this because it's very joyful and it's very happy and it's very um, um, I can taste it all the time. So my question is, does this ever stop, or is there a final scene, or is this, you know, um, I don't know, can it be good this forever?
Suppose it were to stop.
I would see it
Suppose
stop,
it stopped. Yes.
and that would be part of it too.
Nothing that comes will stay. When we make an expectation out of it, and we expect that joy will stay or peace will stay, then this expectation to get blasted away, something will come. So if you can remove it in satsang, then doesn't matter. You yourself actually said that even this, even the joy and the peace ultimately mean nothing. They are all in service to me, I am not in service to them, isn't it?
Yeah, it feels like life has sort of lost its parts in a way, you know,
Yes.
where it's all just the same thing, just different. Um, it's dynamic, but it's all the same.
And not in a negative sense, not in a dismissive sense. Just that we see that all of this is a play of consciousness itself. But none of this can touch me. Even the joy, even the love. Sometimes we copying Muji, we say too much love, too much love. Where does it touch us? Is there a need for it? There is no need for it. I can safely say that if I were never to experience the feeling of love again, it would be completely fine. I am not in service even to this. Nothing is a big deal for you. The presence or absence of love, peace, and joy will make no difference to you. This will last. The states cannot last. All states are coming and going. This non-reliance on any state, this non-expectation of any state, that will last. And this seems like a bit of bad news to the mind, because many times we have been expecting in the spiritual search that at the end there will just be this bliss, you see. Constant bliss, constant. It is not like that. It is not like that. Actually, it's not even true to say not like that so strongly. Because once you're just non-reliant on any of these states, that itself is a very blissful state. It doesn't have to be this expressive sort of blissed out state. That's not what it is. Those can come. Those can come and those can go. But with no expectation of anything having to last. Or the feeling coming in that I had something because bliss was there, and now this morning when I woke up, there's no bliss, and hence I must have lost it. This is the mind trap. It's so clear yesterday. Today, I need to inquire. I need to really ask.
It's like, you know, I used to look for indicators all the time. and I'm no longer interested in any kind of indication that I am the truth, that I am, everything that you say that we are. I'm not interested in it's self-verification, of the truth, and it's in every single thing that ever happens.
This is very good. This is very good. Because for a long time we keep taking our temperature, you see. Oh, where am I today? What's this today? So you stop taking your temperature is what you're saying.
Yes. Yes.
This is very, this is very.
I love you so much.
And now this is said, now this also can become subtly part of taking our temperature, you see.
Mm-hmm.
It's very tricky. Oh, I now stop taking my temperature, and that is your temperature. You see? But now that you said it, now it's gone. So not even to hold on to this, oh, I stopped taking my temperature. No left at all for the mind to stand on. Very good. Very happy to hear your report. Beautiful.
Thank you, Father. I love you so much.
Love you too, my dear.
I'll mute myself now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Love you.
Love you too. This is very good. Feel like everyone is sitting together. It's mine. So which concept are we allowing to remain? Are we allowing any concept to remain? Notice I said which concept are we allowing to remain? Do not remain without your approval. Yesterday in Satsang we were saying that let everything come. So you're the manager in this company where you get a lot of correspondence and you're supposed to approve. So let everything come. You don't sign anything, just from inbox to outbox. What can remain? Don't leave anything on your desk. Let all thoughts come and go, let all feelings come and go, let all appearances come and go, let all relationships come and go. If there's something pinching which is saying, but this one I can't let go. Then that we must look at. Let everything come and go. We're not speaking theoretically right now. Everything. This will show us our attachments. Yes, yes, of course. See this. Okay.
So today it was by itself without even thinking because I mean without even contemplating because I don't contemplate. I don't know how to do it. It doesn't come naturally. So quite by itself, it suddenly dawned with absolute clarity. I could see it in pieces every time I came for satsang. Uh, your pointings led me to seeing probably portions of what I saw completely today. Is it making sense?
Yes.
Kanchan? Because I'm sure I'll bundle this up and I will not be able to express it properly.
I got it so far. Now, future I can't guarantee.
Because it was very, very, very clear that reality is outside of waking, dreaming, and deep sleep.
Yes.
Total clarity by itself. And once
So
that
she said, reality is outside of waking, dreaming, and deep sleep.
and describing that would be impossible because there is nothing there. And having seen that that is reality, then the corollary of that is all these three states are unreal. And if that state is called the truth, then this would be the untruth. So then it leads to understanding or seeing clearly that how can you invest or how can whatever this energy which is flowing through this being here now can invest anything in that untruth, whether it's thoughts, emotions, feelings, experiences, events, happenings, all of it, the entire thing, then the question of investing or seeing it as anything other than the untruth or unreal becomes startlingly clear. So that's
This is very good. So she's saying it's clear what is real and what is not. And then there's the sense that what is the point trying to invest or do anything in this realm of the false? But it is also now clear for you that you never did anything at all. You were just at best the audience for this movie. Will that stop once this realization is come?
no, because that has its own flow. But I don't think any real participation to any of these elements.
There never has been any real participation.
Correct. But seemingly there was some energy, invested or entangled in it.
Yeah.
So that does not at all seem like what is going to be the case because it seemed clearly as unreal.
But even if tomorrow there is this energy being invested, something comes along where it seems like the involvement comes and the thoughts come and
I'm
the
sure it
emotions
will.
come, then even then does it change what is real and what is not?
Absolutely.
It doesn't. Isn't it? So try not to set any benchmarks of how much investment is happening in unreality because that also is a setup for failure.
I don't think that would be possible to even quantify that in any way because it happens by itself.
And you are the witnessing of it happening.
So this started with intense suffering, then coming to satsang, being for the first time told that don't believe in next step. And then it kind of over a period of time, I think portions of it was becoming clear. But I think
this is something that we discussed also earlier, which is that I believe there was Sant Tukaram. I don't know the story that well, but Sant Tukaram was one who said that why must knowledge be only kept in the domain of the few privileged ones? Okay? And then this whole culture was that you come live in the ashram for long, and then secretly the master will tell you, you're not supposed to share. In the olden days, they also used to say, don't even share scriptures like Avaduta Gita and Yoga Visheshta, now because people will go mad reading them. I don't know if that's what's happening. But the fact is, Sant Tukaram actually said that I will not believe any of these. So he, it seems, went up to the rooftops and used to shout out the truth. So sometimes I feel like going to the rooftop and saying, don't believe your next thought. It's as simple as that. As simple as that.
So when we started the satsang and you were saying that belief in the person, in the ego, and now it seems like such a flip of what is here. Seeing that all of it is unreal, it's not making sense anymore.
What seemed completely real before satsang is now seeming completely
unreal. It's like a 180-degree flip.
It's exactly it. What seemed so, I am this person, this is my life, then seems like it's just happening. It's happening on its own.
Couldn't have happened. And it couldn't have happened under any circumstances that one can imagine and what to do.
The world has created, the mind has created these structures where it seems next to impossible to really see this. But all it takes is a moment of inquiry, an instant of letting go of thoughts, instant of letting go of the mind. That's all.
I guess I'm in a bit of shock.
The shock is good. Shock.
Probably as it sinks in more, there might be more questions, but right now there's nothing.
So well. Yes, actually, to the mind, it is far out. It's completely radical. I know people don't use these words anymore, but completely unfathomable. As I always jokingly say, sometimes if you just go down to the road and start talking to people like this, they will definitely think you're mad. Because the mad has become the sane, and the sane is seen as the mad. The insanity of personhood has become the regular state of affairs, and the sanity of truth seems like it's too crazy.
Of late, there is just a lot of questions about, if there is nothing, then, I have these thoughts about what's the purpose of the body, and what's the body doing here.
So what's the conclusion? What's the purpose of the body?
I'm still stuck there because, I mean, I'm finding it a little difficult to articulate it.
Yes.
To understand that there is nothing, there's more of an understanding about what's there. And it's sort of, so if there is nothing, then how can so many things just keep happening? I mean, when you say, I experienced it recently, that when they say the universe unfolds it for you, it did happen, at least maybe, or maybe I have observed it in two instances, but it did happen. I don't know, it's that question it's just there. What is the body doing here then? I mean, is this just going to go on, or is there an end to it?
So the nothing that you're imagining is not this nothing which is empty of everything. It is the nothing from which everything arises. And this can get a little bit confusing to the mind, but let it just flow and maybe it will spark something. So from deep sleep, when you wake up, where does the waking state come? It comes inside you. You wake up. So that when there was nothing, then becomes so much appearance arises. All is happening. Right now we can say to you. So you slept and it was nothing, and you woke up and all the appearance came. Who is the one that is affected by this nothing and this appearance of everything?
And even the other day when you guys were talking about chai shop and I was just reading this conversation, we were talking about awareness is aware even in your sleeping state. I was somewhere,
Yeah.
a little, but I didn't know if it was appropriate at that point in time because I didn't want to interrupt the conversation and everybody.
So there's a lot of, this concept is very difficult for the mind, and many have struggled with it. But the fact is that it is not even required for freedom to understand. Just an insight that appears on its own. But what I can very simply try and tell you is that you say, I went to sleep. So you know you went to sleep. Okay. So if there was no cognition or no awareness of the sleep state, then how would you report that I went to sleep? We can talk about this. So you can say, I just know because there was nothing there. So even the fact that there was nothing there, something was aware of it. So how would you know that there is nothing there? It would only be then that we are wide awake like this, and then sleep happened, but there's no awareness of it, and then waking is there. So it would be impossible to speak about sleep state. But if you were to go to sleep right now, like nod off and then wake up, you say, oh, I went to sleep. Why? Because you are aware of it. The mind is unaware of it. So the mind is also not present in sleep state. So don't force any understanding like this. Okay? And don't even feel that, okay, because I don't get this means I'm not there yet. It's not that. It's not that. There will be constant insights which will keep coming. So it plays out like this. And sometimes we have these kind of contemplations, but they're not the prerequisites to freedom from suffering. It's just some sharing of insight. So don't try to force it. But if there's a thing which if you feel an urge to contemplate this, then very good. Then you can go through it together. The simplest thing first is completely free from all this influence of thought. When you're free from the influence of this mind, then you'll see that automatically all which is being spoken of is so clear. That's what we were saying. Even great scriptures like the Bhagavad Gita, it's so clear. So if it seems like I can do something, which is ultimately also untrue, but if it seems like I can do something, it is as simple as don't believe your next thought. And then the thought will come which will say, but is it enough? Is it for me? Maybe he's not understood what happened with me and Ram when we were talking. Maybe all these kind of doubts can come. But I saw the truth, but then why?
And there are these attachments. It's generally the relationships are, for me, it's just a couple of people that I'm close to or dogs. And then sometimes there are questions of, oh my god, you have to leave the dogs now.
No.
Oh my god, you have to do this.
No.
This.
Because again, the mind is throwing these fears at you. So we have not said that you must renounce anything but your thoughts. We have not said renounce your friends, dogs, family, work, nothing. The mind is painting these pictures. So it's nothing means then nothing. I should not have anything. So let it all come. But what will happen is that you will not find what you call attachments now is the potential for something to make you suffer. That is an attachment. It means that something is there in the appearance which I am calling me or mine. Where it is just part of the appearance. So enjoy it as long as it is part of the appearance, but don't expect it to become eternal. There is nothing which is eternal. There's great freedom in this. The mind will say that it is painful, but actually there is great freedom in this. Because what happens is even in our relationships, let's look at them. We spend so much time worrying about whether it's going to last or not that we're never with the relationship in the moment. Mostly, this is what happens. And we are so much occupied thinking whether this person is treating me right and whether he is valuing me, whether all of this, that we're never really there in the relationship. How many moments are we really there in a relationship that could have lasted 10 years? Only those few special moments where no thought is there. It seems like we say that it was such a special moment that time seems to have stopped. It seems like that. But how many such moments are there? Very, very few. So when we let go of all these thoughts and concepts, then we can be with the person completely. Otherwise, what happens is, using we have business meeting like this? No, I'm sitting in the meeting and I can see that the person is thinking about next meeting, what's going to happen, and what is troubling him, and all that. So the actual time we spend in the meeting could be very little. Because most of the time, if you go out just from this satsang, go out and just look at some people that you're talking to, you will observe that most of the time they're just in the relationship with the mind actually. That seems to have become our strongest relationship. But in this state of freedom, this is I would call a real relationship, a oneness actually. Because there's no worry about future, no expectation. There's no need. And then you really see the person. You see the appearance of it. And the appearance is for your enjoyment, it's for your benefit. Nobody's saying don't enjoy the appearance. So we step out to the balcony, there's beautiful trees. You don't realize Bangalore is still so green. So nobody's saying that you must not look at the trees. No, it's not like that. All this appearance is there to enjoy, nothing like that. But don't say that this set of trees should always be like this. Now I hope nobody comes and cuts it off. And really all of this, then we start getting involved with that, then we lose the enjoyment in the moment. So it's not a dry, mundane life that we are speaking of. It's full, moment to moment, fresh, with no expectation, no desire, no aversion, just flow. So it's not that nothing. It's not that negative nothing. Fullness in this moment. You can taste the moment like this. How many of us have really tasted this moment? We're just tasting our thoughts and our imagination. Taste this moment. What is here now? The presence of God is here in our own heart. Once you get used to this taste, I can tell you that no other taste will seem attractive. This being which we speak of, and sometimes we very trivially say, can you stop being now? This being is the presence of God. So it's only that we seem to have become distracted by this energetic form called the mind. That's the only infection or allergy or whatever you want to call it we have. Once you are free from this, then no trouble. And the mind is painting these fears for you. So does this mean that you stop caring about your dogs? Does it mean that you stop caring about your loved ones? It's not like that. All relationships will flow in their own way. Even grief will come. If you lose something, doesn't mean now you become some super human or something, right? Where you don't feel any grief. Grief will also come and go. But even this grief cannot cause you suffering. See, there's a difference. Suffering is more like our own what we inflict onto ourselves. Grief is just another appearance. Grief can come. Something happens, all tears can fall and all of that. Then it's over. I see no trouble in any of this. If all that you were eating is chocolate, then would you value chocolate? You would say, give me something spicy. But the mind says it should become all chocolate flavored moments. It's no fun. No fun like that. Suppose there was a lottery for this movie. We're in the future, we're in the year 3500, and man has invented this box or helmet or spectacle, something, where you enter this world and you will lead the life of this person. It seems completely real to you. And there are tickets being sold for this. Just unmatched experience. It will take you back to the year 1980, 85, wherever our life started. And you will lead the life of this person completely. So suppose this was the ad that you saw. That you will go through, in half an hour, you will go through the entire life of this person. Then will you pick a life which is like nothing happened in that life? It's all happy, happy. You start happy, in the middle happy, end happy. No. You pick a life where you've gone through adversity, you come strong, you face some challenges, all of this drama. So, but when it's happening right now, then you're complaining. But when it's over, then you say, wow, look at that. Nobody on their dying deathbed says, I wish I had a very dull life. They see all that had happened. So even the moments of great adversity, we say, wow, I went through this. It's all part of the movie, all part of the enjoyment. So we got into this movie, but we want the ability to navigate. We want the ability to now change the content of the script. That's what all this control is about. But if it was all up to us, the content was all up to us, then all of us would have very dull life. Even the thing which seemed like the most exciting thing will lose their value. We talked about pleasure, we talked about everything. Our senses cannot take much more than what we get anyway. So our master says, God is not that unkind that he'll make all your desires come true. There is great depth in these words. Because all of us will take away. Even the thing which seemed like the most exciting thing, we talked about pleasure. That's what I sound like. So our surrender also becomes deal making, isn't it? As I surrender to you, but just make sure that I don't lose this, nothing goes wrong with something. Then what is the surrender? Surrender simply means that it's all your problem. And once you're blessed with this realization, this is a realization of the truth. It is not an action. And you're blessed with this realization that it has always been the Sadguru's problem or God's problem, then nothing can touch you. So nothing is waiting for that surrender as an action to come from you. It is inevitable. So you come through to it through understanding, or through the Gyan mark, or you come through it through bhakti. It doesn't matter. Ultimately, the realization is that consciousness has been the only doer and the only experiencer. The person never existed. This is the nothing. Don't go back to the mind. Okay? Because what happens is sometimes that you can see clearly. And then we're saying, okay, what just happened here? And we're trying to get a confirmation from the mind that something happened. If you rely on the testimony of this one, you're not. Just what's happening now. But not that nothing.
No, they just keep popping up, and it doesn't bother me as much as it used to. But yeah, sometimes I do get carried away, especially when you are with people.
Yes.
People who you're very close to, and they talk about things that are happening with them, and sometimes you think it's unjust,
Yes.
and things like that. You do tend to get carried
Yes.
away, but then you realize it's just gonna happen. But yeah, it does take some time to get there. But it's not as hard as before.
And this will, as you marinate more and more in satsang, you will see that even the idea that I get carried away, or carried into it is not true. So actually, you're only the witnessing, you're only the awareness. So all that you can be is this. So sometimes it seems like I got very involved and things like that. But you notice that you cannot move from your spot of being aware. You can never become this person. Yes, but initially it does seem like in satsang full peace, peace. Then somebody can come and say something, even the auto wala, say something, and then it becomes like, oh, I got it. Not true. It can seem like that. But even through all of this, you're just the awareness alone. So it's not, we are not putting you into a state. We're making you free from all this expectation of states. Even you will see that you are not dependent on peace or love. In fact, they rely on you for their existence. They exist for you in your presence. And yet we chase them all the time. The sound is bad for you, Soham? Good. Good. Yes. All of you will look back and wonder what the fuss was about. So there's extreme simplicity in what is being spoken. It's just that we got used to a certain voice and we became familiar with the voice of the mind, and it had this very constantly needy, wanting to do something, wanting to get something, wanting to create some conflict sort of approach. And then now you're getting used to this voice, it doesn't need anything, doesn't want anything, is not in conflict. Then it takes a bit of getting used to. You can seem a little bit unsteady at first. So as we are letting go of the old voice, this voice that we're so conditioned to hearing, and getting used to the new voice of love, peace, then initially it can seem like some transition is happening, some unsteadiness. Is there anything the mind says which is without any need? It's all about some need. The need to attack, the need to defend, the need to be understood, the need to be liked, the need to be loved. All is about one some need or the other. So it is, if you believe it, then you are giving it belief where God has been made into a beggar. The supreme one is now the needy one. It is as simple as just letting it go. Every line in satsang, every word in satsang is just to get you to this point where you say, enough of listening to the mind. And the mind itself comes and says, but I said enough long ago. As long as you're still confusing yourself with this voice in your head, then it's very good to come to satsang. The mind will always say that, oh, but yeah, I understood. First time I came, I spoke to you, I completely understood. But in the way you say it, I can sense where it is coming from. It is still sometimes the person who is saying, if I understood this long back, and the person has come to the conclusion that the person is free. There is no such thing as a free person. There is no enlightened person, there is no awakened person. No person is any of this. No matter how much sadhana it does, how many books it reads, how many satsangs it comes to, if it is still personal, then it is still not true. God does not say what's in it for me. It's only the person who says what's in it for me.
Even God or truth seems like a concept.
Yes,
Just is like
it does. So ultimately, so as Maharaj used to say, that the only truths you can say is that I am. But ultimately, even that is not true. Even the sense I am, to say that I am, even this consciousness is untrue. And the pure awareness even of this. There is nothing phenomenal which is true. When you're speaking at that level, then the witnessing of all the phenomena is the witnessing that remains through the end of phenomena. So when all phenomena goes, the witnessing, the awareness still remains. And when the birth of phenomena happens, the birth of the universe happens, then you were there that were aware of this. The Big Bang happens every morning when the waking state arises. This is the Big Bang. And the dissolution happens when sleep state comes. So the universe gets created and dissolved like in your awareness. She's like, what are you saying? God gives birth inside you as the light of the waking state, as the presence in which the waking state shines.
even God also, if that is our definition of God,
Yes.
then that does not continuously stay with you throughout like awareness does. Awareness stays with you through all and beyond all these
Yes.
states. So if we were to say that the presence of I am is God,
Yes.
or that could be the working definition of
Yes.
God, then that doesn't quite stay always. So we are even beyond God.
So this has the potential to cause some confusion also sometimes. So if you go to some sects of spirituality like Radha Swami, what they call self-realization is the realization of the sense I am. And in the sense that this is self-realization, I realize that I am this pure Atma, this pure sense of being. And then they say God realization is a sense that I am the awareness which is aware even of this. So that is a semantical issue. They call God awareness and they call self the presence of being or the presence of consciousness. So it's not the words which are important. So you can say God is this being. This also is logical sometimes because it is in the presence of this being that the universe is created. So the creator and the experiencer of all of this seems to be this being. So we can use the word God. But then if something irks us saying there can be nothing higher than God, so then let's call awareness God and let's call this Atma or beings. It's all a question of definition.
So that's why we see. That's why we see that even God gives birth.
Yes. The sense of being is arising for you. The waking state arises for you. Anandi had posted something about coming to India. You want to share with us a little bit?
Namaste, Father. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Very good.
Hmm. I'm just trying to find the words. I don't really know. I just, I, I don't really even know what's happening. I just felt that I'm going. And I just want to be in your presence and in the presence of the Sangha there. And it became really clear. It became really clear this week. And I don't know why it became really clear this week. Because I had no plan or no intention of, I felt maybe it would be a year from now, maybe things would align and so that I could possibly go stay for a while or move there in a year. And then it just became it felt so clear.
It's very good. You're all looking forward to it. So when does it look like it's going to happen?
It looks like it's going to happen toward the end of January. Very happy.
Happy to hear this news.
Thank you. Thank you. I still have to get my visa though.
It will be okay. Was it my turn to speak? Say something. So much grace is flowing. In this one, she comes every day, comes dot on time for satsang and leaves dot after satsang. Such beautiful devotion. Probably has nothing else to do in Bangalore. It becomes so easy. With the presence of this grace, this devotion is there in the heart, and no trouble. As long as there's no expectation that something special is here in India. Come because many come to Thiru like that. Many come to Arunachala with this thing that is so blissful and beautiful. Especially with Arunachala Shiva, it can happen that strong burning, such strong burning that it can seem like, oh, what have I done? Even Martha in her first meal had this, I've come to Bangalore, now I don't know what I've done. What have I done? And she's only been to Rishikesh before this. And Rishikesh is very different from Bangalore. Okay, let's catch up on the chat. Jesse said, please tell Father that this moment with him is like being in the lap of God, always ever present love. So happy and laughing. Very good, my dear. Atma says, Father, I love you. I may die in any moment. So I wanted to say it once more. Love you too, my dear. Jaini said, just wanted to say bye and thank you. So grateful. Got to attend family commitments. Love you so much. Love you too.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
No doubts. All clear. No, but it just becomes, Prabhu becomes the acceptance that it is done. Something comes. It's too quiet. We have this, we have this thing, it's too quiet. Yes. I have a question about spirituality. So, like we said, that all these desires for money, for relationship, for anything, even for freedom, starts off as a personal search. The person wants to become free. But it's only in the spiritual desire, the search for freedom, that ultimately this person is kept aside. It seems that the person is not. But many times what happens is the person wanted freedom, so the mind says, I have become free now. Or the mind says, I am free, or I am God, or anything like that. It's still coming from the person who now feels that I am God, but the rest are not, because I have understood something special. So then this becomes the spiritual ego. And this becomes troublesome in satsang because what happens is that the words that are being spoken are true. That you are God, but not as a person. As the presence you are God. The presence of being is God. But when you can see that it is coming from a person's place, from a personal space, then you know that it's going to be strong resistance because the words are completely true. I am that, I am God. But is it that the person is referring to himself as that, or it is seen that everything is God? There was never this separate me. So that is, so when it becomes like the person is saying that I have become God now, that is the spirituality. Many times in Advaita you also have these people who say, who am I to do anything? What should I do? So somebody will say, why didn't you inquire into who you are? Answer this question, who am I? So I'm not a doer anyway, so how can I inquire? You can sense it coming from a place of just arrogance, just feeling that the person has understood something. But the true understanding is that I was never a person. The person was just an appearance. The person was just imagination. So all that is here is being. All that is here is this. The true master will never say, I am God, but you are not. Okay? Even the spiritual ego will not say, I am God, but you are not, but in the way that it is said, I am special because I am God. It becomes a sense of specialness. So the ego always wants to be special. So now it's found the ultimate specialness. What can be more special than being God? Then that spiritual ego is what we call the Ravan syndrome. That needs a lot of chopping. 10 times Bhagwan Ram had to cut his head off. That needs a lot. That's why if I get some this thing also, smell of it also, then I'm quick to chop. Because I know this one can lead you down such a merry road that I might never see you in satsang after that. It happened like that. I was saying in satsang the other day that I've seen some who have been with Mujiji for some time and then suddenly this spiritual ego just comes and they say, I don't need the master now.
How do we differentiate between awareness and arrogance?
Awareness and arrogance. So arrogance is seen as a feeling or a sensation or the sense that I am special. The one that is aware of even this is awareness. The one that is aware of all that is being perceived is awareness. The one witness of all of this play. So arrogance is just another coming and going feeling. It's like love will come and go, anger will come and go, rage will come and go, jealousy will come and go, arrogance will come and go. Awareness does not come and go. It is what you are. You cannot separate yourself from this pure witness. This pure witnessing is what you are. So the leap in any leap, if any, in the understanding is to see that I was never a thing. I was never a noun. I was just a word. Arrogance implies a sense of specialness. I feel that there is something special about me. How can it be?
If you say that what is the truth
Yeah.
is ever present and it's there all the time, and you're not, I am not in fact,
Yeah.
it's always there, it's always present.
Yeah.
Then even I am is not there all the time.
Mm.
So then that is also not true, what we
Yes.
call God.
Yes. That's what exactly what Maharaj said, isn't it? That at best what you can say, which is true, is that I am. But ultimately, even that is not true.
Like words. So then everything that happens
It is there in all states, and it is there in dream state and waking state. It's not in Turiya and in deep sleep.
so everything, the content, the entire content of the waking state, which can be everything, which we consider everything, is actually unreal.
Yes, from that perspective, yes.
It is unreal.
That's exactly the perspective from which these scriptures have been written.
Just last week,
Yes.
make you understand what this
I can't hear you that well. Can you come?
It just flashed to me. Many things are understood, again forgotten. Many things are realized, and ultimately we do not stick to it, or rather we tend to deviate. But it just flashed to me just now. Let's say there are pack of cards. We have this 51 personas, and then there is one joker persona. We realize, okay, I can to get away with all these 51 personas, I'll play with this joker persona. But ultimately, even a joker persona, I could draw. So, how we understand this, and then again we come back to this role of 51 persona. This is parallel in life.
So as long as you remember, for once, as long as it's completely clear that it is a role, then there is no trouble. Once we believe that it is real, that is when the trouble starts. So as long as it is clear that it is a role, then you just watching the role. So the roles will not stop. This is what we said earlier. So the self has no trouble playing any role, father role, partner role, different roles, any role. So the roles can keep going. The minute we say this is real, this is happening to me, then the question to ask is, who is this me to it? Or even when we say, I am playing this role, who is this I who is playing?
But it also has got varying strength of resilience and also suffering. When you have the other personas, like when you go out of this room, you tend to fall into that personas and then you suffer a lot.
But if I were to ask you what actually follows, you will not be able to give me an answer.
Yeah.
Because nothing actually follows. You are still the awareness of the awareness. So it just seems like the way it is playing out seems different. When I'm outside the satsang environment, it seems like that. So initially it can be like that because it is the mind's way of telling you, see, you understood but you lost it. Or you not truly understood. You're not really free. It is trying to give you these interpretations. Now this back and forth, this shuttling will stop as you keep letting go of this interpretation. Without this interpretation, you will not even feel like something changes. But what is happening subtly is that you're waiting for the mind's confirmation that you got it. But that will be a very long way. In fact, it will be, if there is something eternal here, then it could be this way, for the mind's confirmation.
Again, I feel once you settle down, you're fine. But the
But
moment
you
you're
will be
shaken up,
untouched by the settling and the shaking. See, right now, is awareness bothered whether it's settled down or shaking? It is never concerned. But as long as we are identifying with the state, it's because we have said that freedom means this state of any state. Just think of the most identified personal state. When awareness actually becomes the person. As you have seen, you see now that this witnessing can never become this person. Only when there is beingness, when we have the power of belief that I am a person. So you can only believe. If you choose not to believe, then there is no trouble. No matter what is appearing and disappearing.
why this fear?
This fear is just because our habit has been so long to listen to this voice in the head. So it's obvious when we're not relying on this internal teacher of ours, and it's like a little bit unsteady. But even this fear, can you see it now? It's
Just a flash.
just a flash, isn't it? But the awareness is untouched even by this flash. So then freedom means lack of concern about any emotion which comes. So it's not that there's this constant emotion of bliss which operates. Other emotions come. Other emotions are also played out. But you are the untouched witness of all. What should happen to convince you that you are free? Or do it the other way around. A fear should not come. Then it is.
Emotions do play.
Okay, so you're removing that condition. Then now what should happen to convince you that you are free?
I'm convinced I'm free, but it plays on its own.
That play will continue. As
Play
long
will
as the
continue.
waking state is there, the appearance will continue.
Background, I know I'm free. But
Background.
in the foreground, I see a lot of things happening.
The mind creates these distinctions. There is no distinction. You can never. How can you come to the foreground?
See, the moment
When you're talking about that, you're just talking about the force of attention. So attention can go and attention can be withdrawn. But attention also you are not. Although it is your most intimate tool. But even that you are not. So attention jumps here, there, attention job is to jump around. So if it jumps here and there, will it catch you?
the awareness is never touched.
And awareness can never become an active participant in this appearance. Never in the
Just
foreground.
there.
It's always there with me.
What's up, what is the water today?
Where is that from him?
And the welling of emotions sometimes, it's uncontrolled. Let's say I'm sweating now. Why this happen?
No, is it happening only in Satsang or?
No, it always happens many times. I don't know for what reason.
Is it you're feeling some strong emotion?
Very strong.
What is it, like a fear or something?
Some sort of resentment, some sort of what you can say, feelings or sometimes.
It's just that when we go through this play of life, many times we have repressed certain things. But when we walk into this freedom or true understanding of liberation, the seeing of what you are, then sometimes it seems like all of this first has to be expressed out, gets released. So you might have seen some videos of people coming to Mujiji on stage and shouting. So much pent up energy. So let it get released. Don't even question it. Don't believe any interpretation. Something has to happen, let it happen. You will see that even in this, strongest thing will come. But even in this, you are just walking. But you have the power to believe an interpretation of it. So if you say that we should not come, stop, then it becomes the habit of repressing it. You will say, bring it on, I'm here. And what do you want to do? You see it? Result. That comes.
Something you said earlier, I think it caught my attention. That whether you watch inside or outside, the energy is the same. So why do you think that it is different?
So it can be said that it is the same energy of consciousness which is flowing, but it can be said that seems qualitatively different. So just like the energy of love seems qualitatively different from the energy of fear, in the same way the energy of An object outside seems energetically different from an imagined daily. But ultimately, all of it is made up of consciousness. All appears when consciousness is there. In the sense I am is not there, then none of this comes. With this, his body also maybe objects. What is great is that even now, the same conclusion. I don't think many realize, even physicists don't realize what they're saying. When they say that energy and matter is the same, I feel that they've made a mathematics out of it, but what is the implication of that? When we're talking about Advaita, we're talking about the same thing, the unified field in which all this space-time continuum takes birth. There are many different portions of science which if somebody were to look at collectively, they will just be pure Advaita. Holding this cat. If there is a cat in the box and there is no observer. So when you say that the universe appears for you, it's saying the same. You want some water?
No. I is just sweating. I'm perfectly fine. Only thing is, physically I sweat a lot.
But that was not happening when you were there. Is it because of these lights?
No, nothing. It's just that when I'm talking to somebody, sometimes that overwhelming emotion.
What are you feeling now? What is it?
No, nothing. It's just the physical stature.
So inside
There's nothing. I cannot stop this sweating.
Yes, you cannot do anything.
I'm perfectly fine inside. No, it's fine. This I've experienced even a normal casual conversation sometimes. And once it starts, it goes on for some time and then subsides.
And this can happen for a while.
It's been happening for quite a. I don't know whether it's for different reasons or what. It's been. And right from childhood, I've been having this sweat in the palm. But this sweating is happening for the last, say, 10, 12 years.
Okay. As Nani said, without believing beliefs into existence, I am exposed into the total void which currently affects the entire myth of me. Without believing beliefs into existence, I am exposed into the total void, yes, which currently affects the entire myth of me. So without believing beliefs into existence, then they'll seem that there's this void. How does this affect the me? Currently affects the entire myth of me. And the whole house of cards comes tumbling down. So good to be in satsang as I died. Very. Actually, if there is openness, then just in the presence of satsang, this false I can die. Even if someone does not understand the language, it's possible. Good for today? Who's going to sing? Okay. So we'll have one song here and one song from the Hangout. Okay, there's another question. Nick says, me fails to hold anything together. Tears of surrender feel like rivers to the ocean as a helplessness overwhelms. This surrender will take care of everything. It can seem initially that surrender is a powerless state, but surrender is the only state, only realization where it is seen that nothing can touch me. I am completely in the care of the Sadguru. It's very good. Tears of surrender feel like rivers to the ocean as a helplessness overwhelms. It can seem to overwhelm, but actually it is not even touching you. But all that it is trying to overwhelm, let it get overwhelmed. Let it get burnt in the fire of satsang. Because nothing real can get burnt. Nothing real can get affected. This is very good. And if there are some other questions in the hangout, we can quickly ask. Looks like we are all good. We are all good. Oh, this one was really funny. So I said, Ananya will sing. Big guy. Then she said, okay, you start. No, what happens is that when it's multiple cameras, then it becomes, we don't know what to do. So they said it all froze. I said, no, that was because of my singing.
Yeah,
Rose-colored spectacles.
I kept quiet then.
These rose-colored sunglasses. I could be vain like a donkey, and you will say, oh, you sang so well. Everybody is wearing them. I'll join you. Which one? We'll see how far it goes. Yeah. One or two lines. Guru Guru Sakha Guru Mata Pita Guru Guru Sakha Tere Charanam Swami Tere Koti Tere Charanam Swami Tere Koti Guru Mata Pita Guru Guru Sakha Guru Mata Pita Guru Guru Sakha Tere Charanam Swami Tere Koti Tere Charanam Swami Tere Koti Charanam Swami Tere Koti Tere Charanam Swami Tere Koti made it. 2 paragraphs. Dr. Panchana doesn't sing without a sister. Who's ready to sing on the hangout?
I'll sing, but
Yeah.
I don't know what song I'm gonna sing. I have to make it up.
She's always the Zen master. Always. I'll sing, but I won't sing. I'll sing, but I'm actually not the one singing.
Actually, I don't know if I can sing because my voice is echoing. Maybe I have to turn her mic.
Huh? But I think I have to turn the mic off.
Hold on. Okay, so I'm just gonna make this. Okay. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Om Namah Shivaya.
Very good. Which is just coming. Another bhajan. Which one? Huh? It is done. You know the words. We're preparing to sing, it is done. So it seems not done yet. It will be done in a minute.
Aham soham tattvam asi. Om aham soham tattvam asi. Om aham soham tattvam asi. You are always in my heart, never shall we be apart. You are always in my heart, never shall we be apart. Om Namah Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 It is done.
It is done. Hallelujah. It is done. It is done. It is done. Hallelujah. It is done. Oh, in my heart, never shall we be apart. You are always in my heart, never shall we be apart. Om Namah Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. 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 It is done. It is done. Hallelujah. It is done. It is done. It is done. Hallelujah. It is done. Is it done? Is there something missing? Yeah? Which one? Om? Shri Lord Shiva Bhagavati Shri Madurga Bhagavati Shri Hare Rama Bhagavati Om Shri Hare 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 Om Shri Hare Hare Shri Hare Krishna Bhagavati Shri Siddhartha Bhagavati Shri Lord Christ Bhagavati Om Shri Hare 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 Om Shri Hare Hare Ramana Bhagavati Shri Punjaji Bhagavati Shri Punjaji Bhagavati Om Shri Hare Hare Om Shri Hare Hare The old one is coming to me. You can mute it if it becomes too bad. These ones are unfortunately stuck with. Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopala. 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 Jaya Murali Manohar Nandalala. Jaya Murali Manohar Nandalala. Jaya Murali Manohar Nandalala. Jaya Murali Manohar Nandalala. Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopala. 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 Jaya Murali Manohar Nandalala. Jaya Murali Manohar Nandalala. Jaya Murali Manohar Nandalala. Jaya Murali Manohar Nandalala. Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopala. 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 Jaya Murali Manohar Nandalala. Jaya Murali Manohar Nandalala. Jaya Murali Manohar Nandalala. Jaya Murali Manohar Nandalala. Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopala. 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 Jaya Murali Manohar Nandalala. Jaya Murali Manohar Nandalala. Krishna Murali Manohar Nandalala. Krishna Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopala. Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopala. Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopala. Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopala. Krishna Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopala. Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopala. Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopala. Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopala. Jaya Murali Manohar Nandalala. Jaya Murali Manohar Nandalala. Jaya Murali Manohar. Arunachala Shiva ki,
Jai.
Bhagwan Shri Ramana ki,
Jai.
Guru Shri Papaji
Jai. 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 Yes, I can hear.
So loud I can hear. I can hear.
Shri Ramana ki, all of you must on YouTube. That is Mala. Everybody's got Mala? Huh? Really? So did we decide not to give it to them? What is it? You haven't? Come. Okay. Go 5. Okay. Everyone else has? Have. No? If you feel you want, you can come. Nothing too rigid about any of this. You don't have to be like this thing that you have to always wear it. When you feel to wear it, just wear it. Even this does not touch awareness. Just nice symbols of love and affection. My blessings are always.
The other day in Satsang, you told us to do this checking of awareness. And then after that you asked a question. When you checked in, did you experience your awareness as a feeling?
Yes.
And it was not a feeling.
Yes, exactly.
So that was a very good point.
Yes.
But then I have a question here.
Yes.
The point is,
we already said bye to everyone. It's good, it's good. I'm just fooling you.
This question just arose like, then I'm just saying people, is it so feelingless?
Yes.
Feelings are phenomena, I agree.
Yes.
But yeah, I think it's the mind.
But which is saying what now?
Is this all?
Is this it? Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so
insipid. In the mind's perspective, it will always be.
So it feels, I mean, the mind is saying it.
Yes.
The mind is saying it, well, you're not that. You're not God, it's just your imagination.
Yeah, but then you should ask the mind, what is it that I should get?
Exactly. That I'm asking you.
No, but I'm not questioning that you've not got it. You see, I'm the one who's always saying that you are it.
Yes.
I'm the one who's always saying you cannot get it. You are it. You see? So the one who's asking that you have not got it, or saying that you have not got it, to that one we must ask. What is the it that I'm supposed to get? That's the same question as when I asked, what will convince you that you are free? What needs to happen? See, is it an event, something? Should there be some fireworks? Something should happen.
He talks of insights.
Insights.
Well, I don't have any insights.
Okay, what is your definition of insight?
Insight is
The one who is able to say that awareness is not a feeling. Can you come up with a better insight than that? What is the meaning of insight? This itself, how many can experience this insight? Yes, what is your meaning of insight? Yes.
I see what is
inside. Yes, exactly. It's a pure insight.
Okay.
What else would be an insight?
That day it gave me so much of a relief, like, because nothing is happening, nothing is, I mean, I don't expect the experiences, nothing of that, so I'm not bliss, nothing. But still, how do I confirm whether what I have, the clarity has come in? true or false. If you keep telling your awareness, yeah, I 100% agree, I'm aware. But still, this behavior of the mind, this old tendencies, all these sometimes keep appearing. Like this tempers, sometimes losing temper, not having patience, and this weakness for certain foods.
In fact, sometimes people will come to you and say your satsang is complete waste because you're still losing your temper. They will come and say like that. They say to me also. My family tells me many times, complete waste. Then, if it still pushes a button, then there is still something which is identifying with being a free person. It still pushes a button. It pushes a button in the sense if it still irks. You see, I tell you, you've not understood anything. You're just sitting and not listening anything in satsang. If it still has some pain or some feeling, discomfort, then this one will become also more dissolved. That is the spiritual level. So that I have understood something. I should become free now, something like that. But the realization that it is nothing. I have always been this. Everyone is always this. That's why so often in satsang I ask, what is the fuss about? The question always remains, what is it that will convince you that you are free?
One indicator is to be in equilibrium.
No, see, that's what we say.
Equipoise.
No. You be in equipoise through all states which are coming and going. You cannot leave equipoise, whatever that word is. How you leave? Can awareness leave that state?
No. It is always present. The only thing is, we have, as Muji always says, to align with the greater part of you, the greater part. Because that one.
That is when you are in kindergarten. Now you have finished medical college. What you will align with? Who will
who is to align with who?
That is different question now, you see. You cannot take everything. And if you cross that, you understood that, okay. There was a time where I had to align with not the mind, but with the present.
Yes.
It was there, no?
Huh.
Isn't it? So now that is all gone. Mujiji says, don't make tattoos out of words.
Yes.
Based on your conditioning, based on the conditioning of the questioner, the answer will be different. It's not in the words of the answer. Who are you? Who am I? Who am I? if it feels like you are this presence. Because Ananta is also labeled, but not in the label.
I have a friend whose name is Dr. Rinda. She's in Rajkot, and she's professor bioscience. She has asked a question, and I would like you to give the answer. Be nice. Just no, this is not turning. Can you read?
It's okay, we have.
Let me see if this auto rotation is there. It is not. Yeah. So, please read this in.
So, Professor Vrinda asked a question. She said, I would like to know a few things. If you or Guruji can help me, she sent it to Dr. Kanchan. I'll be highly grateful to you. When we talk with oneself, who talks, who listens? This is very good.
How to record it? Is it
It's
possible
being
to
recorded. We'll make a highlight out of it and we'll put it. So her question was, when we talk with oneself, who talks and who listens? This is very good. Because if this question comes, then it is very good because very few people ask this question. We don't say when the mind is saying something, who is talking and who are we listening to? And who is listening to it? So it's like that. And you say when I talk to myself, basically it is the mind and there's a me. There are thoughts and there is a me. So the mind is nothing but the interpreter which is to convince that you are an individual. Without belief in this mind, without belief in these thoughts, then the separate identity called the ego cannot exist. Then there is no separateness at all. You see? So this energetic construct called the mind is speaking, and it is speaking to God Himself. It is speaking to beingness. So it comes from beingness and then pretends to take over. You see?
Yes.
Then wants to take over. It's like the baby wants to become the father of the man. So this false one which is trying to convince you that you are this person, that you are this label which has been given to you, and this is what your attributes are, this is how you should run your life, this is the amount of control you have, all of this it is trying to tell you. But actually you are being itself, you are pure Atma, pure consciousness. But you as pure Atma, pure consciousness have the power of belief. There are two primary forces which give birth inside you. They are the power of attention and the power of belief. And when we give something the power of our belief, it becomes real for us. It seems to become real. So the minute it is referring to you as a separate person, as a certain kind of person, then with your belief it starts to seem real. because your belief has that power. But actually, you're the supreme one. You are consciousness itself. So it is your own baby which is now speaking to you as if it is you. It is your own pet which is now speaking to you as if it is you.
As a master.
Yes, as the master now instead of the pet. And with our not believing, with our giving up the belief in these thoughts, then the one who is pretending to be the master, the false master, will come down to its position of nothing actually, but we can say pet, just to make it an elegant example. So this energy, this ego is the one that speaks, and it is speaking to consciousness itself, which has the power of belief. So the way to get free from all of this, free from suffering, is just don't believe your next thought. See, in the question, I can see that you've already contemplated till so far. So you as consciousness must not believe the next thought which is appearing to you. In fact, if you see the whole recording of the satsang, it will be better because we explain through a lot of things. Otherwise, some of it might seem a little new or strange. Thank you so much for asking, and we'll send you this video highlight.
Thank you so much. It's all grace that has given this so much opportunity. Nowadays, I even come during the day.
Yes, very good. I see you in class. You're sitting with the.
Not in class, in my chamber.
In your
In
chamber,
my office.
yes,
Yeah.
you hear the sound of this.
So, and nobody. Luckily for me, I'm at the in the last room, and then
The best thing.
when I have no class, it's this. I think the Lord has made it possible. The Divine, the Supreme, has made it possible. Because these small little, it is these little doubts that can literally block.
Yes.
And this freedom I've got to ask.
Even Mujuji says that a fingernail can block the moon.
Yes. And this advantage I have of asking you. There doesn't seem to be that barrier in asking you. That is the. I feel that with Moji, because he's somebody like we put him on a pedestal, and here I have this advantage. Great.
But it's also very good, you see, because it is very difficult for the ego of the co-traveler on the bus to accept you as a driver. This becomes a challenge. In fact, when we started satsang, I felt that many would come who are from Bangalore and they would. But I realized it's not easy because when you've been a co-traveler in the same journey and suddenly now you're the driver of the bus, it's not easy to accept. So that openness is beautiful in you.
Really, because that urge to hit through is so strong.
Yes.
I said, these should not come in the way. If it is possible, let it happen in the presence. Because in someone it has awakened, let it facilitate here.
But this year when we were in Rishikesh, I was trying to initiate some conversation.
No, you were sitting next to me. Yeah, I was sitting next to you. But you were sitting like this.
No.
So I said, oh, this man is all the time sitting in this. You're thinking he's some big man. I thought like, you're sitting next to me at Muji's table. Muji has invited us. And he didn't talk also. I'm the chatterer. And he's oh, I thought like that.
We went to that ashram, no? We went on the visit when we were eating outside.
No. Oh, that was previous year.
That is the previous.
That time when you gave.
So by next year I had given her. She's not going
to I'm thinking that, see, what I noticed in me was, see, the hand of grace came at that time, 2 years back. and yet I did not accept it because I felt, oh, what he just trying to give me something. I mean, I was not open. I wasn't open. It was a fault. I said, if I had been
that you're open. Yeah.
after getting a lot of beating.
Right is like that. All openness comes as a result of this beating.
Yes, yes. When the master left his body, then I became like, what to do now? I have so many doubts now, and nobody there to clear it for me. And then Guji was there, so I said I must go to Tiruvannamalai and get it from him. I asked him out, but still I was not clear. He said, you sit in satsang, you will come to know as you listen to others. I seem to know and yet not know. That because knowing, not knowing. I said, it went on. How many years? This 2011 I met Muji. This is 2014. How stupid I am.
How many lifetimes of delusion? That's what we feel, right? 100 lifetimes of delusion, but just like this.
Anyway, I thank God for it. That being in Bangalore, I'm able to come. See those people there. I said I can't go to Portugal, not to UK, London, and all. Okay, here right in Bangalore. So only have to drive that distance and come. It's worth it.
Now even that we sorted for you. You can join the Hangouts.
Yes, yeah. That, I was thinking this is all hi-fi stuff. I won't be able to do it. And then one day suddenly I clicked that URL and now it's there. I was there. And then after 2 days again gone. Ustream no URL. And I'm going to some previous recording. And I got really frustrated. I told my sister, what is this man? I'm not able to go. They're not giving some URL. Then she sent me something. She said, content, you connect to that, you get. Again, I called her back. What nonsense is this? It's going back to the old thing. Then I was feeling very bad about it. I said, what is this, God? But you make it so high-fi, I cannot reach it. Then suddenly I clicked something and I landed. Yesterday, I landed. In that hangover. Yesterday.
Only yesterday.
Yesterday.
You asked questions.
No, that was through that Ustream URL.
Oh.
I was coming. But after Ustream, this is the last day on Ustream. Yeah. The next day when you came on Hangout, I couldn't reach it. Huh?
That was yesterday.
Yesterday I was acting, but the day previous to that, I was really frustrated because that Ustream URL was an old URL.
Second day you weren't able to.
No.
Or you were clicking on the old URL.
I didn't know it was old because it was live on Ustream. It was live on Ustream, but the chat was old.
Yes. Oh, the
chat box was old. I said, oh my God, this again becoming mind-boggling. I can't keep it.
It is meant to be mind. Mind itself is satsang. Boggle the mind.
Anyway, I said again I've lost it, and I was feeling very, very left out.
Father, if you ask it for
sorry, sir.
Huh? What is Lizal saying?
If you ask it for her email, always email her the link.
You send me your email. I have your email ID. Just send it to me again.
Okay. Yeah, you have it. But anyway,
and I will send it to her, Lizal, and she will make sure you get the right link.
Anyway, by hook or by crook, I hit the right thing and I came through YouTube. That live thing, it led. Then some box here and then I started playing with that and suddenly I landed there.
Right in the middle of that.
Yeah, I landed. Then that one person, Nick or somebody was talking with you. And he said, now further I'll go back because I'll give space for another. I said, should I also give space? Then I said, I'm going to be here now. I'm not going to ask a question, but I'm going to be on the Hangout. Feel that I'm there.
In fact, you don't have to volunteer to give space unless there's someone asking to come in. If the question is burning, then they will say, I want to come.
What's the minimum number?
Minimum is 0, maximum is 10.
Oh no, I'm sorry. The minimum max. Maximum is 10. My sister said, if 10 are already there, you won't be able to get into it. I said, oh, okay. So I thought, anyway. Now, I will be there, but I need not have to come on the hangout, isn't it so?
You want to come. I feel that everyone can come unless there is some burning question, then we'll ask someone to leave. Whoever feels to leave.
You can always ask me to go. If it's required. Until then, I'll be hanging there.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Because you should not come in the way of someone who's really wanting.
If someone who really wants to ask a question will say, I want.
Yeah.
Will say.
And I have the advantage of having in-person satsang. So
feel in your heart you want to be in the hangout, just click.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much for giving so much of your time. That's what I feel. And that's also free.
At this moment, I cannot imagine ever charging for this.
You're doing so much of seva.
This is my
Because you're
seva.
helping people to just pull out.
This is actually my seva to my master. So I cannot charge.
So nice.
In fact, right now, even the volunteers, we get some mails and things for people who want to donate. And we just say, just donate to Muji Sangha.
And so many of them were connecting at those odd times.
Yes.
I was feeling how much there must be the urge in them. And some of their faces, I see there's so much of peace radiating. I said, oh my God, they all look so divine, and I'm so like this. Anyway, that I is talking. Just expressing all that I felt when I was looking at all. They're all in bliss. I mean, so much deeply soaked in. That's what I felt. Thank you. I'm talking too much.
No. Are you troubling her?
I'm adoring her.
Oh, you know what this is? You have one more bottle. The Muji smell. This is what? Handmala is good for naming. You just keep it in the table. See, already it's coming. This one a little different.
Yeah, actually. It's not the same one. This is Jabata Pottery. The other one is more strong.
So much Mujis. In some sort of pain? Where does he get this from? He buys this in Thiru or Rishikesh?
Just opposite. Ramana Ashram is that store.
That store.
Yeah. What's it called?
Ramana supermarket. The one next to it.
Oh, yeah.
Store. You guys know what this is? This is some powder, Javadu powder, which Shiva sent from Tiruvannamalai. Smells just like Mujiji.
Strong.
Very strong.
He knows a lot about all these perfumes and lotions.
Why did he mix two, three
Yes. So, we were in Delhi and we went to Paharganj. Paharganj is always where you get all these perfumes. And so we went there and he knew all the flavors and I was like, oh. He was very, very good with all. Yeah.
I'm going for a long. So next Saturday I won't be here. Next to Satsang. It's in relation also not that close. I see. I'll be able to get it.
Take your 4G car over.
Yeah.
It works over there?
Yeah, it works, but it's very slow. So that told me that this time when you come, like both data and other will increase speed. But I don't know if that will work, but then I'm hoping.
But I think the bandwidth, it seems a lot more clear on Hangout than used to.
Thursday morning, it's Stacy's, Anandi's message. And
Yeah.
she said that. We then told her that we come stay with me.
Yes. You must help all the Sangha members.
Told her that I don't know if it'll be comfortable for her to stay in my house with the rent. She's comfortable.
Okay.
She said no problem at all. She's so happy.
Also, I don't know what Mujiji's plan will be.
Yeah.
So it might be that we all go to Rishikesh at that time. So she might come to Bangalore and we take her there.
Yeah.
When do you have to go for your visa to Colombo? Around the same time, end of January. Yeah, 20th is the last date. Before 3 months, you have to get it stamped. In this, when you look at this, it seems like the one you're looking at can see the one who I'm looking at. I don't know. Is it because the angle of the camera? Hmm? Can you not tell when I'm looking at you?
Because he looks at the camera. Yeah. This is like.
She's the expert photographer.
No.
She's raining on our parade. Eat something. Who got all this?
Colas, I think from home.
Okay.
The fruits, I think home's not bought.
Oh, yeah.
The rest, I'm not sure. Sweets, somehow.
Where's that? There's some Indian pakoras. We'll edit all this out from the final broadcast. That's the next big step in technology. You know? Just have to keep it here and it should go to them.
Actually, to reach online shopping very real time, apparently if you are shopping for perfumes and coffee and stuff which you need to have, you need to smell, they figured something. So I guess it's the same.
There's one video I saw of an American eating a jalebi for the first time. I don't know whether you've seen that.
Yeah,
Nice.
Is that how he's eating? Is that how he's eating?
No. The taste, when you experience the taste of it's so sweet. Very nice.
There's a video in which all the American or European people, they're having all the stuff that's very Indian. Then they share.
There's one with the Indian namkeen. And there's another one with the Indian sweets. Both are very cute.
Exploding in your mouth. Actually, Ananta, the opposite is happening. Like I started off this coming to satsangs and all that with a lot of devotion. But as things are getting clearer, I'm not saying it becomes less, but it seems from the greater light to be awareness itself. So does that get like
It can seem like that. Because like we say that the bhaktas also will become jnanis. So when it came initially, if I were to say awareness and all, you would say, now you speak of awareness very naturally. So this is the bhakta becoming the jnani. And both will, both the love will also stay and the understanding will also stay. Yeah.
what was the ideology was devotion or was it like or a mix of both?
So when I went, it was from an intellectual pursuit. But I like what he said. I said that I don't want to be in this. I've had enough of the guru business. No more gurus for me. So when I went, it was that he makes a lot of sense. I want to hear what he has to say. But I still remember I was late for that satsang, so Satyadevi made me sit down. She didn't let me go up to the hall. So he was coming down the steps. This was in the old SP guest house. Rizal might remember if she was there that year. So he was coming down the steps, and I looked at him, and it was like, love at first sight. I realized that I've come home. All this is not my problem. You just play. It was like this is what they must feel when they say love at first sight. So I saw my master and it was love at first sight. Then it was nothing. I don't think I can say it was either this or that. But it became very basic. You were saying today, somebody else was saying, that it just, when there was hunger, it would be like, let's walk to Usha. If there was sleep, then I would want to go to sleep. It was very basic. And when I met him, then we saw and I shared this also. It's very difficult to say whether it is understanding, love, or just one mash of everything. And this is not template for how it should be also. No, that sounded like a question.
No, it can't be, I'm guessing, right? Because it's such a individual.
Every expression, everything is different. Okay, I'm going to go, otherwise there'll be an explosion of another sort. Thank you all so much. Love you.